No, I'm just saying and joking.
We were joking with you, James. All right, guys, we're live. Another episode of the Batters Box. How's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
Yeah, just all right.
Eh.
I mean, come on, man. It's got to be a great time to be a Mets fan.
It's a tough time to be a Mets fan. It's
Well, it's a great time when one of us predicted what was going to happen last week, and I'm right here sitting here.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I hate to be the guy
that predicted it. Joe said it too as well.
No, but I'm the one that said it though, and I hate to be the one that said it, but I said it, and it happened.
James, he said it. Give him the credit.
Okay, you got the credit. You said it.
Yay!
There we go. But
wait, hold on. Let me do a bet there. What? I got a question. What the fuck is this thing when they get hits?
What's the other thing that they do? Right?
No, that's not that. So they do that. I was just going over this with my friends a couple of weeks ago. That or the pepper, all right. Congratulations, you got.
Remember the old lady in '86 that sat behind the fucking home plate with the fist?
Yeah.
She kept doing this.
Yeah, they used to do anything behind the home plate to distract the visiting pitcher. But all right, guys, let's.
No, but seriously, all joking aside, what the fuck is this thing with the three fingers? And
I want to know what it is too. Okay, congratulations, you got a single.
I think it might be a white supremacy signal. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be. It doesn't make sense because most of the players aren't white. But anyway, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on subject. Yes, the Mets are actually in third place now. They went from first to third in a matter of 3 days.
Yep.
Got swept by the Phillies. They nearly got swept by the Marlins.
Got
swept 3 out of 4 to the Marlins.
Yeah, they nearly got swept by the Marlins.
To the Pittsburgh Pirates. Anything else could go wrong this fucking month?
Well, guess what?
Coming up, we got the Nationals and the Dodgers coming up,
and the Giants.
Yeah,
we should handle the Nats, but the way this fucking team looks,
I don't think we can confidently say we should handle any team.
No, not with the way they played the Marlins. Yeah, you can't beat the Marlins. That's bad.
Anybody else regretting that the fucking Wilpons got rid of Zach Wheeler?
I said that since
dude. I've been saying that.
Jesus Christ, the son of a bitch looked like fucking Cy Young Sunday.
And I told you this. You're the one that he sucks. I was like, dude, Zach Wheeler doesn't suck.
He's fucking awesome, man. Huh?
You just said that the other day.
Yeah,
that's because he's with the fucking he was with the fucking Mets. That's why he sucked.
That's like when we were talking about the Giants and the Cowboys. Like, what about the Cowboys? He goes, no, they suck.
Well, so let's look really quick. The Mets are currently 2.5 out of first, and
after being 3.5 in front.
Yeah,
we were 3.5 games in first place last week.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and 9 games behind the wild card.
We are now.
We said this. We said this earlier.
I think we were like 7. Well, we 7 or 6 above 500.
The best we were is 8.
We're at 1 now.
Yeah. I know.
Look at Alonso. Alonso's back in a slump again.
Everybody's in a slump. Dom Smith's
yeah,
in a slump. Baez. I don't know what the fuck happened to Baez on Sunday. What did he tweak?
The team can't hit.
Well, Joe said it to me too. I didn't even know this. He said Baez has been dealing with an injury.
Yeah.
No, whatever the injury is, it showed up again on Sunday because he went when he swung.
He's been dealing with, I think it's like a knee injury or something. I forgot what it is, and the Mets knew about it. They still traded for him.
Now, this was different. He actually pulled either. They said they might have been his hip or where Lindor pulled his oblique.
Oblique. Yeah. What is with the Mets this year and their obliques and the hamstrings?
Bad conditioning, as always. The Mets have the worst conditioning coaches in baseball.
But we've been saying this for years, and we talked about this literally, I think, ad nauseum the last stream.
Yeah.
Now, it's the same thing with the Giants.
It's
the same thing with the Giants. When the Giants, or everybody's going on the injured list the whole time, it's the conditioning coaches.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But so now, and this is the crazy part of what as a Mets fan we can expect, and this is just what the Mets do. They'll probably beat the Dodgers.
That's,
I mean,
it ain't gonna happen.
You never know.
The way they're playing,
stranger things have happened. Yeah.
No, it's not even about stranger things have happened, dude. This is how the Mets have played. They beat fucking top tier teams, but lose to the fucking Marlins. But
lose to people, to horrible teams. Yeah.
I said that 1,000 times. It's always the last place teams that are the ones you got to watch out for near the end. But they're the ones. They're the ones that got to play with nothing to lose. The
crucial part of it is these are right now. We're at the end of August. We're almost not the end of August, but we're at almost towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
These are the games that you got to be winning. You can't be losing to the Marlins and the Phillies. I mean,
especially the Phillies when the Phillies.
The Phillies is a tough team, though. I mean, you could.
No, I'm not saying they're not a tough team, but
losing to the Marlins and the fucking Pirates, no, you can't do that with the two last place teams.
You don't want to lose a division team, number one. But on top of that, you don't want to lose to a team that's coming up right behind you and get swept. And it's the way they're getting swept. They're either not getting hits at all, or they're leaving fucking 15 to 19 men on base.
Yeah, it's insane. And they've been doing that. They're the kings of leaving guys on base.
They're like the worst hitting team when it comes to runners in scoring position. It's disgusting. It really is.
They can't hit. They can't score. It's brutal.
So the reason why I wanted to have this stream tonight, not only to vent as a Met fan, we're all three of us are Mets fans, get our frustrations out of the fact that this team is now a third place team, and they're finally showing their true colors. Let's be honest and let's admit the hard case fact. The truth. They were never a good team to begin with. They were just playing in a bad division.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they led the division for as long as they did. Was it 2 months they had the lead?
Yeah.
3. Because you figured they had the
3
lead
months.
in May.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
They were pretty much on top since May.
All right. Well, May, June, July, yeah. So about almost 3 months. So you got to figure this is the reason why, is because the other teams were playing less than 500 ball. Now all of a sudden, Atlanta and Philadelphia just woke up.
It's funny that
Atlanta and Philly woke up at the wrong time for us, because right now they're dead. I mean, they're not even in the coma. They're fucking dead.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that about that they're not really, obviously not really a good team. But what about when we were listening to the radio today, and that guy said on the radio, he was like, "Oh, they're a better team than this. Are they?" I mean,
they're a better team on paper than what they're performing.
On paper,
all right,
exactly. Yeah,
sure.
Well, on paper they look good. On the field, they look like shit.
It's a completely different scenario, though.
It's like looking at a menu item. The food can look fucking delicious on the menu, but when you order it tastes like shit.
Picture looks good. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the burger looks delicious. Meanwhile, it tastes like fucking horse balls. I mean,
we all know before he got hurt the way Lindor was playing. Conforto's just been dreadful.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's been benched, booed. I mean, as well as Lindor. He hasn't been benched, but he was booed. But these guys just aren't performing.
Yeah.
And it's just it's crazy. And obviously now Lindor's hurt. There's no timetable for his return. We don't really know if we're getting DeGrom back at all this year.
And you don't know if even Baez is. And we don't know what Baez's situation is.
Syndergaard has been thrown out of a bullpen, so he might be coming back next month in some capacity. We don't know.
So. I would love to.
Carrasco looks like, with each start, he's inching towards maybe becoming the pitcher that he used to be. Rich Hill hasn't had a couple of good starts. He had a decent start in his debut.
But that was really about it.
Yeah, he's looking like the 42-year-old he is now.
Yeah.
He's showing
signs of his age. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, so again, not only did I want to come on here to vent and get you guys to vent, and let's let our frustrations out as fans, but also let's start pointing the fingers now. Let's start playing the blame game. Now SNY, and I think it was Steve Cohen that came out and said that Luis Rojas is in not danger of losing his job.
That's bullshit.
So if that's the case, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's pretend that is the case. Whose head is going to roll at the end of the season? Is it Sandy Alderson? Is it the interim GM that I don't even know his name?
Nobody knows his name.
Who else?
It's going to be the GM.
Well, yeah, you could say the GM. You could say Alderson too. I mean, you could go either way with that.
I know. I'm asking you though. Who do you think? What do you got? And the other thing is, and we'll get. You know what? Let's stick to that first, because then I want to talk about the free agents we got after this season coming up. And who should we just fucking let go, say goodbye, good night, nice meeting you, nice knowing you, and who do you think we should bring back? So let's start with the first question. You're Steve Cohen now. All right. Your team, let's pretend the season ended. They didn't even make the postseason.
And we can't say Louis Rojas. Okay, so
no, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I'm asking you. You can say whoever you want. You're the owner. You got your team, your season just ended.
It's a hard question to answer because as much as I want to say Rojas, the blame can't be completely on him though. So,
all right.
I mean, and if not just Rojas, I would say the GM.
All right. No, but I'm saying, just let me finish for a second.
Go ahead.
The season just ended. Your team went from first to worst.
Yeah.
Maybe not worst, but they didn't even make the postseason. And they led the division almost the whole season. Or at least for a better part, half a season.
Yeah.
They're now out of the playoffs completely. They didn't even make it. Is it the manager's fault? Is it now? Look, they got rid of Chili Davis.
Yeah, he was the hitting coach. Yeah.
They said, "Oh, their hitting issues." The hitting coach. They got rid of Chili Davis, right?
The hitting still sucks.
Hitting actually got worse.
Yeah.
It got worse. They went all right. They did have this hot stretch where they, I think it was right after the All-Star break, where they were actually one of the highest scoring teams. They were averaging like 6 runs a game, but that was very, very brief. That lasted. It was actually, it came quicker than it went.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. It went quicker than it came. That's what she said. Anyway, so James, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say anyway. So Mike, you're Steve Cohen now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it doesn't mean one person's head's got to roll. You're the owner. You could do whatever you want. What are you doing?
Louis Rojas is gone.
Okay.
Sorry, James.
No, it's all right.
Listen,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
You're managing this team. You're in first place. You have a nice league going, and now you're in third place by 2.5. That's on the fucking general manager, the owner, is not in our dugout.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Louis Rojas is the most indecisive fucking manager in baseball. He doesn't know to keep his pitchers in the game when they're winning.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
He's not in the fourth inning to put in the fucking bullpen. He overuses the bullpen.
Yeah.
He uses fucking Diaz way too much in tie games in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
He has no idea how to go with a pitching staff or whatever. Granted, I understand. Oh, I'm right-handed. But still, you're in first place. The guy's got a 4-0 lead in the 4th inning, and you take him out. Tyler Miguel has 1 win. And I know his last startup against Philly on the other day was tragic.
Yeah.
But of those other starts he had, he should have had 3 or at least 4 wins.
Yeah. I agree.
Wait, what do you mean by tragic?
He lost.
Yeah, no, hold on a second. But that wasn't his fault.
No,
he gave up,
wasn't.
he gave up like 2 or 3 homers in the game.
Hold on.
He gave up like 3 homers.
Really? We were watching the game. Hold on. Oh shit!
No,
I
but
didn't
we
even
left.
realize.
Remember, we went
Thank
out.
you.
And, yeah.
Yeah, but dude, because remember for the first 4 innings, you're right. I think it was the 4th inning where he imploded.
Right.
Because I
But
remember,
it was scoreless.
I kept telling you, I was like, oh well, I'm glad I didn't pick up Miguel for my fantasy team because he was striking out. He finished with 5 strikeouts, but I think for the first 3 innings he had the Phillies number.
Yeah.
You're right, Mike. I take that back. He allowed.
But the problem was they weren't hitting the ball.
You're right. Yeah. Well, that's the story of the year for the Mets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
again, continue, Mike. Continue. Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So now Tyler Miguel should have at least 3 to 4 wins.
I agree. Maybe 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then he brings up this other kid, Eichhoff.
Mm-hmm.
They bring this kid up. Another one that should have a couple of wins, but he takes him out after the 2nd inning, the 3rd inning. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Look before the injuries happened. What did he do with DeGrom and the up downs? He kept saying, "Oh, there was too many up downs." Yeah. He took DeGrom out when he had like only 70 pitches or something like that.
I mean, the only guy this week that actually gave him anything, I think,
he was trying to conserve his arm, and he ended up getting hurt anyway.
Yeah. Well, and this was before he knew that.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, Stroman pitched good this week, right? Stroman went like 8 innings.
I think so. Yeah.
He's the only pitcher that gave that bullpen a breather.
He's not.
No, that was the other week because we talked about that already. That was the first game where he went deep. Yeah.
Okay, so of all these games, he's the only pitcher that gave this bullpen a breathing moment. He's always doing 4 innings, Castro, this one, Familia. Familia gives up home runs, this one, that one. It's tied. Let me go put in Diaz. I fucked that one up. Rojas has to go. The GM's got to go. Get Theo fucking Epstein. Write a blank check and go, here, Theo, come here, Theo.
Well, we talked about that before
Here's
the
a blank
season even
check.
started.
You put in the amount.
Right,
No, we need the. I hate to say it. We need Theo Epstein.
I'm glad
What are you doing with Sandy Alderson? You didn't mention Sandy Alderson.
Sandy Alderson can stay right where he is and what he's doing. He's fine doing that. And I think Sandy's doing more in the dealing anyway than
what is he doing?
I think he's being all right. You know how you hire somebody and he's like the vice president, but he's really not the vice president of a company?
Yeah.
It's like they got somebody else who's in the back room making the deals.
So there's somebody that's telling him what to do? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And that's probably Sandy. But Sandy can keep his office position and not have to do 3 jobs at once, and they can bring in Theo Epstein and let him run the team the right way.
Look, I love Sandy Alderson. I never blamed him for his previous term as a Mets GM. We just had really bad owners. That being said, there were a lot of rumors that swirled, or maybe not even rumors. They might actually be hard fact that the MLB owners, or just in order for the deal to go through of Steve Cohen to become ownership of this team, he had for some reason to get Sandy Alderson to come with him. I don't know why. I think Sandy Alderson's the first to go. I honestly think he will be the first to go, especially if it's said that Luis Rojas's job is not in danger.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's.
I don't know how that could be. I don't know how that could be if it's not in danger.
Maybe at 2.5 games behind first. Maybe now his job.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that it could be more than just one person. So with that being said, I would say Rojas. I would also say drawing a blank. Rojas and Alderson.
The GM.
Yeah, Alderson.
Well, not Alderson, the GM himself.
I'm sorry, the GM. Yeah.
Is the GM? I think I said this last time. I didn't bother looking up. Is it Zach Scott? Is that who the GM's name is? Because it was Jared Porter, but obviously he's gone.
I was just on the Met website and I pulled up the front office for who the owner and the GM is and everything.
Yeah.
They don't even have a list of who's in the front office on the Met website.
I was right. Zach Scott.
Okay.
I pulled it up. I just put GM Mets, and it comes up. He's the acting GM.
Okay.
Because remember, they had to sign him because of the whole shit with Jared Porter. So it is Zach Scott. I was right. So I think Zach Scott's probably gone. Maybe even some of these the strengthening coaches.
Yeah.
Something's got to be done.
What about the hitting coach too? I mean, come on.
I don't know. I mean, 2 hitting coaches. I mean, is it really the coaches or is it just the hitters not listening?
That's true. I mean,
the hitters
it is their job.
The hitters aren't listening. Then I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
No. I mean, it is their job. I mean, they're professionals, right? Supposedly, they should know how to hit the ball.
But Moose and Maggie said it the best today, and they basically said what they think is the problem, and they say I think that's what Rojas was hinting at without saying it. Is that the fact is, the Mets hitters aren't understanding how the pitchers are pitching to them.
Okay.
They have their numbers. The pitchers are doing the homework on how to get these guys out.
Yeah.
Throw a slider 5 feet away from Baez, he's going to swing for it. Throw Alonso up, a fastball high, he's going to swing for it. McNeil's going to swing first pitch almost every time. Like, it's all these little things that pitchers know how to do now against this team.
Yeah.
And the Mets hitters aren't adapting.
They're used to it. They know what they swing at. They're used to.
They're just not. They're not just their knowledge of what the pitchers are or the way the pitchers are pitching to them.
Right.
They're just ignoring it, or they don't have a good understanding of what's happening. So I think that's for the most part is the real problem. I don't think it has anything to do with the hitting coaches, because once again, you got rid of Chili Davis, who's known to be a really good hitting coach.
Yeah.
Now you got this other guy. They pretty much regressed. Again, they had that one hot streak where they were 5-6 runs a game. They were doing good, and now all of a sudden they can't hit the side of a barn. So look for that part. Let's segue into this now. For that part now, because we're all in agreement. I think most of the front office has to go. I think, and I think Louis Rojas should. As much as we cannot blame him for the injuries, I get it. Yes,
you can't take total blame.
But don't you find it funny that that I mentioned to you in a few batters box a while ago
about him being
about how
contention of
ESPN
manager of the year?
said that Louis Rojas should be considered for manager of the year.
Yeah, well,
knowing
because-
what he had and being in first
Yeah.
place for the half a
That was
half
back
a
then.
team.
Yeah.
That was then. Not now.
now.
In June, we're praising the fucking guy saying that they could possibly be manager of the year, and now we're sitting there going, "Fire the motherfucker!"
It just shows how easily the pendulum swings and how fast that things can change. And he went from being manager of the year, so look how many games they're losing, the crucial games, the way they are losing. That changes in a matter of moments.
You know, and I do want to really quickly look at. Yeah, of course, they have the Nationals now.
Yeah.
Right. We know this.
Tomorrow they start,
and then the Dodgers, right?
They have the Dodgers, and then I think right after that the Giants, and then I think the Dodgers again home.
Yeah. That's tough.
So it's the Nats 3 games, Dodgers home 3 games, then the Giants away 3 games, and then the Dodgers away 3 games. Then 4 games.
Yeah.
Then after the 4-game series in LA, they play the Dodgers again for 3 more games. Wait a minute. I said that wrong.
we're dead.
After they have the weekend series this weekend with the Dodgers at home, they fly to San Francisco. They play West Coast games then. They have at San Francisco. Then they play a 4-game series against the Dodgers. Then they come back and play the Giants at home. So this is what I'm saying. Of their next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't even want to count it. I'm not even doing it. They basically got to play the Giants 6 games and the Dodgers 7.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's where they get the schedule set
13
up.
games.
How many of those games do you think they're going to win?
2. They'll be lucky if they win 2. But again,
I'll say 3.
From past experiences with this team, I would fucking sweep the
I
Dodgers.
would have put it past them that they win 10 out of 13.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
They'll lose to the Nationals. They'll lose to the Nationals, though.
James, I got to say, Allie looks very chill right now in the bed.
Just chilling. All right. So we talked about the front office and who we think they should get rid of. Let's talk really quick now about some of the free agents that are coming up. They do have a club option.
Okay.
So if the team wants to pick them up for the club option, they do have that option.
All right.
You got Stroman, right? His salary this year is a little over it's almost 19 million. His market value is almost at 16. So if they wanted to sign him back, you're looking at almost 16 million if that's what he even takes.
Wow.
Conforto is the big name on this list. I really want to talk about Conforto the most because of his just abysmal season. You know, coming off of what they thought was his breakout year last year.
Yeah.
Batted over 300, 9 home runs or whatever RBIs in 54 games. So they really thought that was going to be his turning point. That was his breakout.
Yeah.
And now it's just, what is he batting? 201, if that?
Yeah, he's been terrible lately.
So right now, his salary for this year is about 12 and a quarter. His market value is 25. I'm going to round up, 25 million. If you're the Mets, are you re-signing him? Are you giving him an extension? Or are you letting him go?
You know what? As much as I've always liked him,
it's killing you to say this.
As much as I've liked him, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've liked him, but liking somebody and watching them play and go back and forth, and the money that they're getting is 2 different things. So I got to say that they should let him go. They should let him go.
So it
would be a better option for them, money wise, to let him go.
Now, what if they can get him? What if they wouldn't have to pay market value? And what if they can come to a deal where they wouldn't be paying him that much if he takes it?
That's if he takes it.
If he takes it, I guess, yeah. If he takes it, then keep him.
All right, Mike, what are you doing if you're
I'd rather take a chance on this kid Drury. He looks damn good.
I like Drury too.
I'd rather take a chance on Drury. Drury, he's younger. He's younger. He looks
Ladies
good.
and gentlemen of the Drury.
Drury.
Drury. Has the Drury come to a decision? No, but seriously.
Yeah.
I'd rather take a chance on this kid than re-sign Conforto.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
wanna go around?
Stroman and Stroman, get
Just
rid
let
of
him
him too.
out.
Because one good game out of his last 5. I mean, he doesn't look that great either.
Who, Drury?
No, Stroman.
Oh, Stroman. Oh, yeah, we'll get to Stroman in a minute. But let's talk about Conforto though. So you don't want to give him a chance.
I don't want no, not the way he's playing this year. Sorry.
All right, just trying to. Yeah, I was right. He's batting 201. That's what I was
Who's
what I was
that?
looking up really quick.
Drury?
He's got
I
7
mean,
home
fucking
runs.
Bob Uecker's got a better batting average than that.
Yeah,
Who's batting 201?
Conforto.
Michael.
Oh, gotcha.
What is that?
I mean,
noise?
granted, he's a good fielder though. He makes a lot of beautiful diving
James, what are you
catches.
playing the
But
bongo on your drums?
No, why? What happened?
It's the mic,
It
mic.
was fixing the wire was tangled up around the
all
mic.
right.
Yeah.
So we know the mic is definitely on then.
no, I mean, Conforto's a good fielder, definitely. But if you're hitting 201 and you ain't doing shit,
Look, defense isn't their issues this year in the outfield.
Yeah.
Not in the outfield. The defense is not an issue in the outfield. Okay, granted, the kid is big. Conforto is making sick catches, and I get it. And he had that laser for an arm throw out, that assist where he gunned the runner out at home just like last week or whatever. But
the
and that's
Miami
what
game.
won the game. Yeah, they won the game because of it. So
Well,
I get it. But I'm with you. I'm with both of you. I don't know about giving Drury the chance, but I don't sign him. I'm sorry. And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna let him go.
And he's going to hit 45 homers, have 150
absolutely.
RBIs,
It's the Met curse.
He's gonna be
and bat
a
320.
superstar.
It's the Met curse. We
that
get
happens
rid of
all
them
the
and they
time.
become better.
And he's only 29. That's the other thing too. It's the sad thing. I mean, look what he did in 2015 when he came up.
Yeah. It was great.
You know?
Yeah.
But then we just didn't see anything from that. And then finally last year, again, 54 games, he gave us this small sample size where we thought that was it. We got him. He's finally Conforto that we wanted. And
Watch, we get rid of him. He's going to go, you know what? Fuck these guys. I'm going to show them what I can really do now. I'm
exactly.
a team that
All
I
right.
like.
So Stroman,
the Yankees.
Are you giving Stroman some money to stay?
Stroman, I don't know. That's a lot of money.
Nah.
Yeah, I would let him go.
Nah,
Stroman.
he hasn't proved anything. I mean, that one game he won 8 innings. That's
Yeah,
it.
I honestly, I'm not crazy about him. I
he-
think he's cocky. I think he's way too cocky. I don't like
Yeah,
his
he's way
attitude.
too arrogant.
Let him go.
Let's see. Stroman. 2.83 ERA, 106 strikeouts. Games 23. He started 23 games. He's 7-11. But again, win-loss records don't mean anything anymore for pitchers.
Yeah.
DeGrom's proof of that. I mean, I don't. It's one of their best pitchers in the rotation. On a team that has really no star
pitching.
anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Well, to me,
DeGrom
wins
out.
and losses still matter. If you can't, and if you got less wins than you have losses, you're not that good of a fucking pitcher.
Again, I think DeGrom will differ with you.
I don't give a fuck what Jacob DeGrom thinks. I'm a wins and losses guy. I look at it that way. If you lose 11 games, you suck as a pitcher.
I can't agree with you there. I don't think anybody can. Mike, a pitcher's win-loss record is not a reflection of the pitcher.
I think Dwight Gooden will have something different with you, Joe, on that comment as well.
If Dwight Gooden was pitching in this era, and he was on a team that couldn't hit,
Dwight Gooden would look
you can't
amazing.
you can't really
win. So all the games where DeGrom went like fucking 9 innings, only gave up one run, and the team lost 2-1. That's his fault.
It ain't his. No, it's not his fault that the team can't hit.
He's saying that could have happened to
I've seen
Stroman,
games when Stroman. I've seen games where Stroman had a nice, comfortable lead and fucking lose the game.
Right, but the guy still has a below 3 ERA. That means he allows less than 3 runs a game.
Right. And I see guys with 10 wins that have 4 ERAs. So I mean,
exactly. So that just proves my point. Wins mean nothing. You just proved my point. You didn't prove yours. That means a guy even with 10 wins
He could
can still have an ERA of 4
I
and
still
still
don't
be
like
a bad.
him. He's a cocky motherfucker. Get rid of him.
I think he's cocky, but at
We
the
don't-
same time,
we don't need a fucking. What's his name over there? OBJ baseball
Well,
type in the fucking locker room.
If they're gonna keep him, yeah, then I mean,
If they keep him, they keep him. Fine. I don't. Fine. Ain't gonna make or break my bank account. He ain't write me a fucking check. But as a fan, I look at it as, I'm sorry, I still look at wins and losses.
All right. I look at the fact that he's 30. He's only 31. We probably could get him for way cheaper than what we paid him for. I mean, even when we offered him the $19 million, any fool would have taken that money. Especially, I mean, that was Steve Cohen just writing a check. He's way.
That's
below
another
his
thing.
market
Steve Cohen's got to stop with the fucking, I'll sign anybody. Here's a check and go. I mean, the only check I want to see going is the Theo Epstein.
See, he said that, but then what did we do to the trade? I mean, come on, but that's the thing. The trade deadline, we didn't get anybody. What did we get?
And I think we were way too conservative. And I'm going to talk about, that's the last thing I want to talk about. But let's just really quickly, I want to move on to just 2 other names. There's other free agents after this year: Familia, VR, Aaron Loop, Rich Hill. But forget about them for a second. I want to talk about
Chill ain't coming back.
Javi Baez. Remember, we traded for him. What did we do at the end of the year? And Noah Syndergaard. This is his last year now.
Honestly, I really don't want to get rid of Noah Syndergaard.
Well, if you're going to get rid of, so here's the thing: if you're on the boat with Mike,
we also got to see how he does. You know,
I get it, but I'm saying if you're on the boat with Mike, and you want to get rid of Stroman, how do you lose Syndergaard too? You got, I mean, again, your rotation will take a huge hit off this free. Now, again, this is just the Mets.
No, I know.
I didn't look at the bigger picture. I don't know what other pitchers are available for free agency.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if Toronto signs Jose Berrios to an extension. Because I'm pretty sure, I think he was not a rental, but he could be a rental if he doesn't get signed. Okay. So I don't know what's going to happen with some of the pitchers that were traded, even with, I don't know the team control on Kyle Gibson, so I can't even speak for him with the Phillies. But anyway, as far as the Mets free agents go, these are the 2 remaining names on there that you got to wonder. Now, Javi Baez, again, has only been on the team for about a week and a half now.
And he's already on the, and he's probably going to be on the DL anyway.
Okay. And so if they don't sign him, I can understand. They were just basically trying to fix a team that, their star shortstop is out. We don't know how long.
And they wanted happy Lindor.
And Javi Baez's market value, so he's getting paid a little over $11.5 million now. His market value is almost 22. So I don't know if the Mets are going to want to sign him for a contract worth almost $22 million a year. I don't know. And what is he? He's only 29 as well, so he's probably going to want at least 6-7 years. So that leaves Syndergaard. Now, if Baez doesn't get signed, I really don't care. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they were able to keep him for a few more years, maybe. Move him to second or third, depending on where he wants to go. But Syndergaard now, 29 years old. I mean, he's one of the big arms on our team, but he's just been not only inconsistent, but he's been hurt.
Yeah.
And when I talked to you about the whole Zach Wheeler thing, way back when, if you asked me, Joe, who would you rather keep, Syndergaard or Wheeler? I said Syndergaard hands down. I want Thor. I want him on my team. He's just an imposing threat.
Yeah.
He's a hard thrower, and he's a cool dude. I think I made a mistake. I think the Mets made a mistake. I do.
The Mets made a big mistake.
Because Zach Wheeler has been said, even my brother said it, one of my coworkers said it. Zach Wheeler has the bigger ceiling. I didn't see it back then. I didn't. I still like Syndergaard better, but I just wish he would be that just force of nature that we had. We had that taste of in 2015 and 2016.
Right.
But again, very inconsistent and often hurt.
Can you see Syndergaard as a closer?
I don't know about a closer, and I don't know if he wants to go in the pen. Let's see what he does in September.
If he goes in the pen,
let's see what he can do in September.
Yeah.
But if he can't get past 4 or 5 innings, He might look good as a fucking closer.
If he can't get past 4 or 5 innings, he's in line with every other fucking Mets starter.
But if we can get him to come in for one throwing hard as health, we got ourselves a damn good fucking closer.
I don't know. We got ourselves a damn good closer in Edwin Diaz. Are you guys?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
I'm not going to get into that, dude. Edwin Diaz.
I don't give a shit. He sucks.
Oh, my God.
Sorry. You know what? You got too much pride in this fucking team sometimes.
How was that pride in the team?
I'm sorry. You got way too much pride sometimes. If I tell you a player sucks, you're going like, ugh. I'm allowed to speak my mind. You invite me on the show for my opinion, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm just saying.
So if I say Stroman sucks as a pitcher because he has 11 losses, that's my opinion. If I say Edwin Diaz sucks as a closer, that's my opinion.
He's got 4 blown saves, so I mean he hasn't been.
That's 4 blown saves. There's 4 wins thrown out the window. Throw in the ones where he lost in the fucking tie game.
No, you know what? I'm looking at his ERA. His ERA ballooned up, and that's probably from his last few starts. His last few opportunities. His ERA.
James, I'm doing a Barry Horowitz.
His ERA ballooned over 4. So
and how many losses does he have?
He's 4-4.
What's his ERA right now?
4.12.
Shit.
Am I proving my point?
I mean,
last year was a 1.75.
He started out great. He was lights out this almost the whole season.
I mean, you guys, you think you hear 4 blown saves and right away, oh my God, but that's out of 27 chances.
Right.
Exactly.
23 out of 27 is not bad. And that ERA is mostly from the times where Rojas put him in non-save opportunities.
Yeah, in a tie game yeah.
So look, anyway, as a
closer, it wouldn't be. I mean, look, it ain't the first time a starting pitcher became a closer.
No, I know.
Hell, John Smoltz became starter, closer, starter.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
John Franco was a starter, became a closer. Dennis Erickson. I'm mentioning like great fucking closers.
I understand.
Syndergaard could be a great closer.
I'm not saying it's unheard of. I'm not saying Syndergaard can't be a closer. I just don't know if that's what the Mets or Syndergaard want to do. That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not asking you.
I mean, it's to the point that you tell a guy, Noah, your arm can't go past a certain amount of innings. Maybe it's time we look in a different direction to make sure that you're healthy, and we give you about another 10 to 15 years of your career doing something else.
All right. I mean, if that's a conversation that's going to happen,
that's what he wants. That's what he wants to do. Yeah.
But I'm saying right now, as the GM or the owner, whoever's going to make the decision, as the starting pitcher, knowing Syndergaard, he's going to be a free agent after this year. What do? Do you sign him or do you let him go?
It depends on how he looks in September when he comes back. Like I said, if he looks good,
depends on that. Yeah, but
if he looks good, if he looks like the Thor of old, then you got to sign him.
I think he's going to be okay. I do.
I think so too.
I think he's still got a lot more good stuff left in him that we haven't seen yet. And we got to give him a shot.
His market value is almost $30 million a year. He's 29. Right now, his salary is under 10. Imagine going from 9.7 million to getting paid almost $30 million a year.
Jesus.
I'm sorry for the backward. She came home. He wants out, so that's what happens.
Yeah, Sonny doesn't even want Syndergaard. You see,
Sonny doesn't even want no. So he's like, get rid of him.
And what do you? And what do you also think about what? What do you think the Mets and DeGrom need to do? Do you think? I mean, if you're the Mets, you're gonna, depending if his arm fell off. If you're the Mets, you got to at one point start to entertain the idea that you might have to give this guy an extension because he's in his 3rd year of a 5-year deal. But if you're DeGrom, do you start thinking of maybe an opt-out? If you're DeGrom.
How old is he now?
What?
Was he 32, 33, you said?
I think 33.
Yeah.
Are you willing to take a chance to give him 5 more years where he could be 38? Now with arm trouble?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's just
it's something you got to think about. It's not decision.
It's crazy to even think about that right now. How good he is.
But
I don't want to lose. The fact of the matter is, I think he's just throwing way too hard for his age. I think his age is catching up to him.
That's the problem. He has to learn how to start throwing more sliders and curves than he has to do fastballs.
You've been saying that, though, that he's been throwing too hard.
But is he willing to listen? Because it sounds like he's hard-headed and that he just wants to throw, okay, I'm throwing fastballs all day.
Yeah, I know my body and I know what it can do. But, yeah, guess what? You said that.
Yeah, you can also throw your arm out doing that.
And you know your body, but you're showing us that you're having problems.
Yeah.
Fucking ERA is 1.08. That's
insane.
God, it's crazy.
I mean, he literally gave Zach Wheeler the fucking Cy Young, I think.
Yeah, he just turned
after going away.
He just turned 33.
That's what I'm saying. Are you willing to add 5 more years to somebody and with questionable arm issues?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's a free agent. After 2022 season, he can not that he's a free agent, but he has a player option. He can opt out after the 2022 season. So we have him for at least another year after this.
Can you imagine, though, like I was thinking about this the other day. Can you imagine somebody like Cal Ripken or Nolan Ryan watching this shit and just going, pussies? It's like Cal Ripken played sick. Cal Ripken played hurt. Nolan Ryan threw 100 miles an hour into his 40s.
Yeah.
And this guy's going,
yeah.
you know, like he's sitting there going, what a bunch of pussies.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't really spoken to Ripken in a while.
No, I'm joking. Jeez, why it was going to be this way?
Dude, I was joking. I was being sarcastic to your joke.
Yeah, but I mean sarcastic in the joke. I'm saying, like you see these guys, even like the old timers, like if you look at guys like Ted Williams or Mickey Mantle or Joe DiMaggio, and they up there, they didn't even wear helmets back in the day. These guys got helmets with the flap, the elbow, the knee, the fucking balls, the fucking ass, and everything else all over the place. And they're going, I got hit in the fucking face, fucking trying to down the first and finish the game. And you assholes are coming up there with fucking things on your fucking elbow and all this shit.
Yeah, you know, I felt that way, and I still feel that way to a degree. You know, and this has nothing to do with the stream. But anyway, we're going to talk about it just for a second. But the game in all sports has evolved. You know, football, changed. The guys are bigger now, and they hit harder. Same goes for baseball. You know, I'm not saying that pitchers back then didn't. You just mentioned Nolan Ryan, the guy threw heat, and I'm not saying pitchers back then didn't throw like that
in his 40s,
but they weren't throwing. I guarantee you, or at least for the most part, I don't know, but I'm assuming they weren't throwing 90-mile-an-hour sliders. You know, the movement on the balls now is just out of hand, and I think a lot of it had to do with foreign substance, and that's another subject. But the fact of the matter is, players are throwing harder than they ever have.
Yeah,
the average velocity is up higher than it's ever been. So I don't know if players back in the 30s and 40s had to contend with things like this.
But some of the pitchers back in the 30s and the 40s. I mean, if you look at guys
I'm sure they did. Did.
I mean, when you look at stuff like that, but I'm just saying, no, the way they played the game back then, the way they play now, why don't we just bring in aluminum bats while we're at it? I mean, I
agree. I think a lot of it's watered down. It really is. The players, I mean, there was no bullpen back then. Starters pitched 600 innings.
You guys pitched 30 games and pitched almost 200 of them. And almost
but they used to last a lot longer. They would go into 7-8 innings. Yeah.
You know, but then again, back then, I made a joke with one of my coworkers years ago. I was like, well, what was the alternative? You know, going to working in the steel mill? You know, it was like, oh man, I really need a paycheck. Oh, do I tell the coach my arm is about to fall off? You know, like what were their options back then?
Well, I mean, if you want to get into that, Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio both served our country in World War II.
Exactly,
so,
they went to,
and came back and they played again. I mean,
Williams, that's another thing. I'm sure they weren't making money like. I mean, there's no way.
Williams,
no, they weren't making money like that. But but with advertisements and stuff, they were making.
Ted Williams' numbers would have been astronomical had he not stepped away. Had he not stepped away, went to war and whatever. Yeah, it would have been astronomical. It's crazy to think that Ted Williams actually wasn't playing for a good amount of time because he was fighting a war, came back and still did what he did. But anyway, okay. So what did I want to talk about? Oh, so I think the other thing with the Mets season and where they went wrong was what you just started talking about earlier, James, was the fact that they were too conservative. They didn't do enough at the trade deadline.
That to me, that's probably that was one of the most important times to get. This is when you got to make a move.
You know your lead really isn't that comfortable enough. You didn't have a comfortable enough a lead, but at the same time, your hitting wasn't as good. You're one of the worst teams, worst hitters as a team in the league.
Yeah.
Your rotation, for the most part, is what kept you even afloat for as long as it did, and even that is broken.
You got
so you go out and you get Rich Hill. I was okay with that. That was a good, that's a good bottom of the rotation. He'll give you innings. I mean, 5 innings, but he'll still give you innings. And I don't mind the Rich Hill acquisition, but then you go out and you get Baez. Okay, great. But what about another formidable pitcher? Because we don't know when we get DeGrom back.
We don't know what's going on with the pitching. Yeah, we needed a starter.
I think we should have gotten 2 bats.
Who they got?
I think we should have went to Chicago.
Trevor Williams? Is that his name? Trevor Williams?
Fuck Trevor Williams. He's in the
they put him right
he's
in
still
the minor leagues.
He's still warming up in the minor leagues?
Syracuse. He went right to Syracuse.
So if I was the Mets, I would have knocked on Chicago's door. Hey, what do you want for Brian and Baez?
Yeah.
What do you want for 2 of them? We'll get you 2. What do you want? I'm sure they had the discussion. I'm sure they.
Why didn't they go for Jose Berrios? Yeah.
The other one, like what? You couldn't inquire about Berrios. You let Kyle Gibson go to your fucking division rival?
Insane. This is Steve. That's on Steve Cohen.
Steinbrenner not only was Steinbrenner. We fucking hate the Yankees for doing what they did.
Yeah.
For years, Steinbrenner would just pay money. Here's a blank check. Let's
just
get
smart.
Get any players you want.
He did what he had to do.
But some of the times they made moves not only to benefit their team, but to block other teams from doing the same.
You got to think outside the box. You got to think like that.
It's about strategy.
And here's a guy like Cohen who basically said in the beginning, he's like, within the next 3 to 5 years, I want to win a championship. Well, here's an opportunity, the trade deadline. Go, get somebody big, and what'd you do? Come on.
I mean, somebody gave him either bad information or I don't know.
And that's on the GM Alderson then.
Yeah.
So
I just think they weren't as aggressive.
No, not at all.
They could have been much more aggressive. They could have got at least 2 bats. At least 2. Your team is struggling to hit.
Yeah.
Your team is struggling not only to hit or get hits when there's runners in scoring position.
And the fate of your pitching is to be determined. So
your ace, your MVP candidate for the beginning of the season has not pitched in over a month.
Yeah.
About almost a month. Almost over a month.
It's scary. It really is.
And your solution is a Rich Hill, bottom of the rotation.
Yeah, I mean the guy's in his 40s. Like,
and Trevor Williams.
Yeah.
All right, here's a package deal. We got Baez with it too. Great. That's like us getting Diaz with fucking Robinson Cano. Great package deal.
Yeah.
How did that turn out for us?
That worked out wonderful.
So I don't know. I have no idea. I just think if the Mets just continue to spiral in the direction they are, and if they don't make the playoffs at all, I mean, look. We're saying this now, right? It's August 9th. August 9th is August 9th?
Yeah, 9th.
Yeah. So we got at least 2 months of baseball left.
If a couple of weeks pass by and they're right back in it, they're at first place or they're surging in the right direction.
So be it. Yeah.
Then
so in 2 more weeks, you're going to say, hey, Rojas should be better the year. Let's keep him.
Yeah. Well, no. The fact of the matter is, I think the problem started somewhat on the offseason. There were missed opportunities, whether it was JT Realmuto as your catcher. I mean, granted, we wanted Springer, and we know what happened with Springer in the beginning of the year. He ended up not playing for most of the beginning of the year because he was hurt. But now the guy's crushing the ball. There was things that there were players that they should have went for. There were coaches that they should have went for,
and
they just sat on their ass. And they just decided not to be. Okay, they went and got Lindor. Great. Okay.
Well, the only thing good that came out of the whole deal is that Bauer went to the Dodgers. We got lucky.
Yeah, we did bite the bullet there. Yeah.
Lindor,
No, you're right. We dodged the bullet there.
They spent all that money on Lindor. I mean, that was ridiculous.
And I told you
I
what
ju-
was going to happen when
I
that
still
happened.
think that was a
So,
ridiculous.
You know what though? If
ridiculous move.
Lindor's a bloated salary and shitty batting average was the only problem with the Mets, I would say, you know what? Let's complain about it all night. But the fact of the
No,
matter
I
is,
know
he's
it's
not
a-
even playing, and they still suck.
Yeah, yeah.
but he was shitty before he got injured. So who knows?
As
we
a
can't
baseball
go. I mean,
fan-
we can't go on what ifs.
All right, but hold on a second. I'm just going to step in for 1 second because I agree. Lindor has been a huge disappointment. I get it. But as a baseball fan, I'm going to step out of the Mets for a second. As a baseball fan, I already knew because I do follow baseball and I don't just stick with the Mets. I know other teams. I know Lindor is one of the best shortstops in baseball. So when they made the deal or there was that opportunity that the Mets were going to get him, I wasn't opposed to it.
Yeah.
I was one of the guys that said, get him at any cost. He could be a franchise player. He's young. Again, with the exception of maybe Tatis, Tatis Jr., with the exception of maybe him, I think he's one of the best, if not the best. He just happened to have a fucking shitty beginning of the season. I don't think he's going to be like that for the remainder of his career. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, all right.
No, not
okay.
I said 10-year vacation. Mark my words. I said it from the beginning.
All right, so 10-year vacation. Let's say he got 5 years. What was his annual average? I can't think of what his annual average was after.
I think it was like 283. I think.
No. What was his annual average? What's his yearly contract number?
Was it 341 million?
Yeah, but so what is he?
But divided, I think it's like 40 something. Hold on. How much was it?
I think it was like 33 million. Let's just argue. Let's just say it's 33 million. So let's just say they gave him 165 million for 5 years. Are you going to be sitting there saying he's going to take a 5-year vacation? So are guys not allowed to get deals?
No, he's going to take a 4-year vacation and then hit in year 5 to get the contract.
But by that, what I'm saying, no, but by that logic and by that argument,
really
is what I'm saying. You don't want to ever sign anybody.
James, how many times have you seen a player have a breakout year, re-sign, and then look like shit for the remainder of the contract to the re-signing year?
Yeah, I know it happens.
That does happen.
I mean, this isn't like the biggest fucking surprise in baseball.
No, but
where we look at it and no, because like every time I say this, you guys always do this to me because I'm fucking right.
What is your solution? I'm asking you, what's your solution? Don't pay anybody? What's the solution?
There's got to be a way that these contracts should be structured to say, look, we're going to give you X amount of money. If you don't perform to what we want, what you should be doing to make this money, we're going to take a little bit off every fucking time.
That's a good decision.
It's a contract with incentives. Yes.
There you go. Instead of saying, "Oh, we're going to pay you $40 million." Oh, guess what, Francisco? You kind of look like shit this month. So before we write you the check, we're going to take off about 2.5 because you're hitting 220 with 3 homers, and last year you were hitting like 250 with 15. Yeah, let's take 2.5 off that.
Wasn't that you sitting in the dugout smiling? Gonna take that smile away.
I don't know, dude. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's part of the collective bargaining agreement. I don't think that's a seat. They can. I don't think baseball could do that. But I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that players don't sign a huge contract and then just coast for the remaining of the contract.
I mean, it's not just baseball in general. They do it in football too. You see
it in every sport. Yeah.
Every sport. But they look like shit, and then when it's signing time, oh, guess what? It's time for me to become the all-star I was for all those years, because now I want to end my career making fucking $40 million.
But what I'm saying is Lindor on the grander stage, Lindor is not the problem. It's not. He was part, but not the whole problem.
Part of a big problem.
You can't go on what ifs. If he got injured, so he got injured. But what would have happened? Now we can't go. What would have happened if Lindor didn't get hurt? Knowing Lindor, he'd probably still be batting like shit. And then he gets that one big homer with nobody on base, and everybody goes, "Oh, look, wow, he really hit that one hard."
No, I didn't.
All right, well, how come he hit that one hard? The same exact pitch 2 innings ago when they had 2 men on and the game was on the line.
I didn't do a what if scenario if Lindor was hurt or not. I didn't say that. I just said yes for when he was on the field, he was not hitting. He wasn't performing like the Lindor he used to be on the Cleveland Indians and the Lindor we thought we were getting. But what I'm saying is now the guy hasn't been playing, so he's not even on the field. We can't fault him for the current Met woes because it's no longer his fault anymore. None of them are hitting.
You said he's making 33 a year, right?
I just pulled that out of my ass. I just said, let's pretend.
So let's say 33 a year. How many months there is in a season? Like 7?
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Well, 7 months. Yeah, you're right.
All right, so 7. That comes out to $4.7 million a month.
Yeah. So
why don't we take 10% of that and take it off his contract every month if he ain't playing to what he's supposed to be playing?
No, injuries, they get their money back.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the beginning. I'm not talking about the injury. I'm talking prior to the injury.
Yeah.
Where he looked like shit.
No, you can't do that.
Why not? Why
because
can they get their money,
dude.
but they have to be paid no matter what they look like on the field?
Dude, baseball,
that ain't right. That's like fleecing somebody.
But baseball doesn't work that way.
Well, maybe they should look into it and go, hey, guys, you know what we should do? All this money we're shelling out for these guys for 8, 9, 10 years. They play like shit for 8 of them, and they look good on their last year of their contract. Why don't we start deducting salary 10% every month from when they don't play good?
Okay, so you're countering a what if with a bigger what if is basically what you're doing. You're over here trying to restructure the whole Major League Baseball and the way they do their business. And we're just talking about a simple thing of...
It's not a bad idea.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, how do you think the Mets should have handled not only the offseason, if it wasn't giving Lindor a huge contract, and how they dealt with the the trade deadline? And how the fact that I feel that they were too conservative. I'm not against them signing Lindor. I just think they should have done a little bit more.
Yeah, I told you they should have gotten the arm. I told you that when we did the show.
Yeah.
After that,
no. I know the answer to it. You guys told me the answer, but I'm just saying, how do we go from that to trying to restructure the whole collective bargaining agreement?
Because I'm sick and tired of these fucking players that make all this money and that they sit around for 3/4 of it or whatever it is. So let's say you got a guy on a 5-year contract making $100 million a year. Just
right. I know, but Lindor got a what? What did Lindor get? 10 or 11 years?
10 years.
It was 1 + 10.
Okay, so he's got 11
year on this, and then they signed the extension for 10.
Because he's got a free year on the. Well, not a free year. He's got this year on the team, and then he's got a 10 extra years.
Right,
dude. Let's go down. Let's talk about that when it happens. We can't say he could have signed a 2-year deal for all that for all we care at in the start of the season.
But what I'm saying is when you get players that sign these long-term deals.
Do you really?
It's like their last year of the contract is their showcase to show other teams how much they're worth, and then they play like shit with the other team for X amount of years until the contract is up again.
I don't think that's the case here. Yeah, he got a big payday, but do you really think Lindor wanted to start off?
Let's throw this year out because he got injured, and then we'll look at next year. And if he does the same shit next year, come back to me and let me know.
The injury is not the excuse. I'm going with you on this. He started out the season horrible.
Right.
But I'm saying, do you really think Lindor did that because he's coasting and he's just taking a break, or did maybe something happen?
Let's take a look at year 2. All right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Let's take a look at year 2.
Exactly. That's it.
And then we'll see what he does. If he still looks like shit after year 2, maybe then you'll agree with me and say, okay, Mikey, you might be right on this.
Right. Okay. All right. So what do you think now? And then we're going to end because we're going at almost an hour. What do you think the Mets? I don't know what I was going to say. I think we covered everything. I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to add, James?
No, I'm good.
Mike?
I'm done.
There was something I wanted to say. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I forgot it. Okay. I think that's what it was. If there's any, it's going to be, this is what I was going to say. At the present state, with them only 2.5 out, is there anything you guys can think of off the top of your head that could possibly fix this season now?
Wait, what was the question, Joe? I'm sorry.
With only 2.5 games down,
What can they
and
do?
a good
to
amount
fix
of the season. I mean, you still got all of August and all of September to play.
Yeah.
So we're not out of the woods.
Right.
I mean, at this present state, we are. We're declining, and everybody else is surging. Is there what do you think is the one thing the Mets have to address or do besides the obvious hit? But what's the one thing that you think that the Mets can turn around realistically that might put them in the right direction?
Play decent for the next 22 21 days because they're not playing today. Play decent for the next 21 days.
Got to stay healthy.
When they get into that 40-man rotation, bring up some young arms that can pitch.
Yeah, bring up somebody from the minor
Bring up
leagues.
some young fucking arms.
Bring
that
up
can go
a
5
pitcher.
or 6 innings and put them on the fucking mound and stop using the fucking bullpen
I agree.
fucking fourth game.
You got to bring up an arm. I mean, that's right now. That's what we need.
James.
No, more than just one. No, I agree. More than one. Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was thinking bench some of your stars. Bench some of your starters that aren't cutting it and bring some
that
bring
aren't
some young
doing
blood
well.
up.
Yeah.
Because they got to do that anyway. They usually do
Bench
that by the end of this
Conforto.
month or September.
Yeah.
They
Maybe
got
bring up
Drury
some.
anyway, so you don't have to worry about bringing up somebody to take over for Conforto. They got Drury. But I'm saying, no, at least bring maybe 2 or 3 guys that have decent arms that can fill in for after Walker instead of going.
Yeah, bring up that Trevor Williams. What do we get him for? Bring him. Let's see what he does.
Because now DeGrom's not even there, so now it's Walker and Stroman.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then it's
Walker hasn't been good neither.
No,
and then all you guys McGill, Hill, and Eichhoff. So bring up somebody that can fill in for Eichhoff and maybe even Hill. Hill in the fucking bullpen.
I don't think Eichhoff's even on the team right now.
I think he's Didn't they send him back there? They
no, he did the other day. I saw him.
He did?
He in relief the other day, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Really?
I might be wrong. I mean, I thought I saw him.
And they got that other kid in the bullpen, that Yenzi Diaz.
I think they should bring up at least 2 or 3 young arms just to fill in those spots.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they do that now. I think they do that at the end of the month in September. It might be too late. I'm talking about now.
When they go 40-man rotation, you bring up 2 or 3 young arms.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now. By come the end of this month, they could be at last place.
Now try to fucking survive. That's what you need to do.
They got to stay healthy.
Try to
they got to
survive
get the
September 1st and then get some young, healthy arms in.
They might need to also maybe adjust that rotation. Maybe not go with I don't know.
That's really honestly, September 1st comes in. Then you're going to readjust the rotation.
I meant the lineup, not the rotation. I don't know what. I really don't know the right answer. I'm asking you guys. I don't even have an answer.
I just think try to stay alive and wait for the 40-man.
What I would love for them to do, but they're not going to do it. What I would love for them to do, but they're not going to do it, and especially since they're only 2.5 back and all the fucking injuries, I'm like, oh, Rojas is not to blame. I'd get rid of him right in the middle of the fucking season. Get rid of him.
What are you gonna do? Fire him on August 31st before the
fire him now. Fire him now. Prove that no one's fucking expendable.
You know what?
You're gone.
Let's do this. If they get swept by the Nationals, they should fire him.
Because something's wrong. Something's wrong. And again, we've already proved that we went through 2 hitting coaches already. It's not them.
Yeah.
So either he's not getting through to his players, right? Either he's not getting through to the players. He doesn't know what
the fuck he's doing. He's fucking
the players don't know what the fuck
I don't think they're playing for him. I think they gave up on him. Honestly, I think they gave up on him. Because nobody's listening to him. The fucking the pitcher staff looks like shit. You gotta give it to him. You need new everything. New pitching coach, new hitting coach, new fucking manager, a GM.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I said, he wants to write checks.
This fucking ballpark, a new state.
No, this guy wants to fucking write checks. He wants to sign people. I told you this. Write check. Theo Epstein, write the amount you want.
You know what? First thing I'm doing, concession stands gone. We need new ones.
Guys, we gotta wrap this up.
No, I know. We're going off the rails anyway. All right, guys. Yeah. So that being said, look, what we'll do is We'll reconvene. Maybe
Next
not next
Monday.
Monday. Not next Monday. I would probably hold off to the following Monday.
Want to hold off a week and see what you want to hold
Let's
off.
get
Let's
that
see what
West
happens.
Coast.
Yeah.
Let's get some of the West Coast games out of the way. Well,
And
not the
then
West
we'll
Coast
see what
games, but the
happens.
West Coast teams that we have to play, the big ones, the Giants and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Let's get some of those series out of the way. Let's reconvene, and hopefully, all this fucking talk was for nothing because
I
they're
hope
turning
so.
it around and they're the best team in baseball.
And
I definitely
meanwhile,
hope
next
so.
week we'll be doing a breaking news that Louis Rojas got fired.
Oh, God, I wish. All right, guys. That being said, of course, always thank you for coming on. I appreciate these talks. I appreciate
Got
us just venting and being frustrated as Mets fans. And hopefully, those of you guys that are watching at home, if you are a fellow Mets fans, you can feel our frustrations and our just everything that we're feeling right now. I mean, it sucks how you go from first to not worse, but you're almost there.
Yeah, you're on the way.
And for the better part of the season, we knew what this team was, and we battled through the injuries, and we stayed afloat because of how weak the division was. And for some reason, whether it's the moves that these teams made, both teams made some fucking big moves, especially the Braves. The Braves, people don't realize what the Braves did as far as the trade acquisitions that they made. On paper, they made some big trades. They bolstered that outfield that was hurting with the Acuna injury. So these teams made moves to better themselves, and the Mets didn't. The Mets just went in the opposite direction. So, all right, guys, we'll reconvene in a couple of weeks. And like I said, hopefully maybe the Mets turn it around, but just the way they're playing, I don't think it's going to happen. So, but anyway, guys, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you soon. Guys, have a great night. And let's go Mets.